everyone, this is Rachel, the creative lead at Universal Yarn. Today I'm going to talk to you about the Holiday Lights Shawl, which is part of our 12 Days of Winter kit collection. I'm going to show you how to do a special stitch used in the shawl, and let's go ahead and get started. So the Holiday Lights Shawl is knit using Bella Cash. This is a blend of fine merino, cashmere, and nylon, and it makes a super cozy shawl. This, as you can see, is a colorful shawl. It's got a sampling of slip stitches, stripes, garter ridges, and then a decorative lace border. And this border is what we're going to talk about today. So, if we look at this, we've got a little bit of lace, twisted stitches, and then we have this little mock cable looking stitch here and here. This is called a lifted knot stitch. And this is sort of like a mock cable, but it's nice and decorative and has this little eyelet right in the center. So there's a lot of things you can do with this stitch, and I would say it's easily one of my favorite stitches to use. So I wanted to show you how to work that stitch today. Bella Cash is a sport weight yarn, so it's pretty fine. For the purposes of this video, I'd like to use Deluxe Bulky. This way, it's a nice bulky yarn and you can see the stitches better. Okay, so let's get started on the lifted knot stitch. I've created a small swatch so you can see what this stitch looks like in a panel. This here is the lifted knot stitch. Notice we have a stitch that's crossing over two stitches, and then above it we have a knit stitch, a yarn over, and another knit stitch. I'm going to show you how to work those three stitches. So let's go ahead and get started. First, I'm just going to knit across to the stitches that we need to work with. Okay, so now we're here, and the lifted knot stitch is going to be worked over these three stitches. So first I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. I'm going to work with the third stitch on my needle. I'm going to go through this stitch on the front purlwise, and then I'm going to lift it up and over the first and second stitch on the needle. So now we have the lifted stitch. Now we've decreased a stitch, we need to compensate for that by working an increase. So we're going to knit 1, yarn over, that's our increase, knit 1. And now we have 3 stitches again. I'll show you that one more time. Okay, so we are back to the next lifted knot stitch. So we're going to count 1, 2, insert our needle into the third stitch from the front purlwise, lift it up and over the first and second stitch on the needle, and then knit 1, yarn over, knit 1. And that's all there is to it. So I'll get to the end of my row. On the next row, you're simply going to work those stitches, just purl those 3 stitches, or work those stitches as directed in the pattern. And that's all there is to the lifted knot stitch. Okay, so thank you for tuning into this tutorial where I showed you the lifted knot stitch, which is abbreviated as LKS in the Holiday Lights Shawl pattern. Just to show you one more time, you can see the lifted knot stitch here and here in the pattern. This pattern is part of our 12 Days of Winter kit collection, and we're so excited that we can offer these kits to you through your local yarn store. So head to your local yarn store and pick up a kit today. Thanks so much.